Okay, so here are a few questions from exercise 5.4 for Year 12 Mathematics in the Grove textbook. And the first one I'm doing, it's asking in question 5, it's given the area of the sector of a circle that is subtended by an angle of pi on 3. So there's its subtended. And they're telling me that that area is 6 pi square meters. Alright, so I'm going to use that 6 pi square meters. That 6 pi can now be put in here instead of A for area into the formula for area of a sector. And given that that subtended an angle of pi on 3, that's where we're going to put it in our formula. Right there. R we don't know, and that's what we're trying to find. So I'm going to divide both sides by pi. That cancels the pi off. You can see I've done that with the red line. I've multiplied both sides. Well, that down here, if you have a look, see that 2 by 3, that gives you a 6 there. And then you multiply both sides by 6, you get 36. So r squared's 36, giving you r is 6. Radius is a length, so you wouldn't get a -6 answer for that one. Okay, so that's question 5. Question 7. So in question 7, what do they want? A circle has a circumference of 185. Okay, well that's the whole way around. Millimeters, I probably should put my units in there. Find the area of the sector cut off by an angle of pi on 5. So there's that there. And I want the area, actually, I'll put the area, see that's the area we want all in there. So, because I've got the circumference, that means I can get the radius. So using my formula here, I'm going to put that C value in and then figure out R. So when you solve that for R, you get 185 over 2 pi. Fine, now we want this area, which is the yellow one, and that's your formula. So I know the radius. That radius is now going to go in here because that's going into that part of the formula. The theta, I know, is pi on 5, and you just plug it in, square it, cancel it, and you end up with your answer. What were my units? So I should put square mil. Question 8. What do they want? If the area of a circle is 200, so that's what they've given me, area of a circle is 200, so that's the whole thing. And there's my formula for area. So let's put the 200 in there, and I can find R out of that. So that's for the whole thing, like if I was to colour in the whole thing. And that gives me a value for R, so that's good. So now I know what R is. There it is. I know the radius. Now, let's go back to that same circle and cut off a sector area. That's that bit there in the pink. And that's what we're going to figure out here. Area is half r squared theta. Well, I'm going to use my expression for r squared, which is back here. I'm going to put that in here. And we know theta. Theta, they told us, was 3 pi on 4. They told us that in the book, so there it goes in. Into your formula, cancel what you can, and you get 75. Number 10. The area of a sector is 3 pi on 10. So they've given me the area of this sector. All in there. That's 3 pi on 10. And so I'm going to put that into my area formula instead of A. See that A there? I'll put 3 pi on 10 instead. And I don't know R and I don't know theta. So that's given me an equation that I'm going to label 1. So what else have they given me for that? Well, they've told me what L is. See that L? That's that length there. that is here in the formula. And apparently that length is pi on 5. So let's just put it in. And now I've got a second equation where I don't know r and theta. So that means simultaneous. I've got to solve simultaneously when I get two equations and two unknowns. So let's do that. So from number 2, I'm going to make r the subject of that. And when I do that, this is what I get. R equals pi over 5 theta. Now I'm going to pick that up. I'm going to pick that up, that r value, and put it into number 1. So see this r value here. Let's see what other colours I've got. Maybe a purple. See this r value here? That's going to be picked up and put into there. All right, but it needs squaring. So that's what's happened here. That's r squared in that formula up there. That's in equation 1. All right, so we've done that. Might get rid of that. It's a little bit busy. Okay. And just make theta the subject of that, which means solve it for theta, and I get pi on 15 when I figure it all out. Have a look at what I've done there. Once I've got my theta, you know when you're doing simultaneous equations, you've got to come back and find the other one. So I've got theta is pi on 15, so I'm going to put that into equation 2. There's equation 2, which says pi on 5 equals r theta. So pi on 5 equals r, well, theta is pi on 15. Substitute it in, simplify, and you get 3 centimeters. So I hope that's okay.